Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be tackling this office makeover. So let me do a little 360. So we've got the fireplace over here, and then this little weird dead space, don't love it, little seating area, which actually normally goes in front of the fireplace. My husband moved it, not really sure why. He just wanted to see if he liked it better over here. Windows that need to be painted, temporary desk setup, because I'm actually making a new desk in today's video. And then one bookshelf, that is a furniture piece I finished that I'm trying to sell. And then this bookshelf I'm going to be painting to match this bookshelf a little bit better. So, and then also just some like wall touch-up paint. So I'm gonna sand this down, fill the holes. There's a couple spots where I need to fill holes. And then also probably gonna be getting rid of quite a bit of things. I bought a new organizer as well to go under. It's a rolling or like 5 drawer organizer. That's gonna go under the desk because the desk is not gonna have any built-in storage. And then also I got this new filing cabinet that is so heavy. It is the heaviest filing cabinet I've ever seen in my entire life. Ever encountered. I don't know why it's so heavy. And that's gonna go in between, it's gonna go in between the 2 bookshelves. And then the desk that I'm building is actually gonna be a, kind of like, I guess like a L shaped. So there's like a little tail that will go over the filing cabinet, and then it will sit this way. So my back will be to the, like this wall in the windows. So anyway, we've got our work cut out for us. There's not actually that much work to do in the room. It's really the furniture pieces that are going to take a while, and like just the reorganizing, getting rid of stuff, decluttering, that sort of thing. So when we moved in about 2 years ago, this was all wood paneling, the same color as this window. And our contractor that we had before we moved in painted, but we've put like different things in the walls and then have changed it up a little bit. So that's why there needs to be a little bit of paint touch-ups with the nail holes. And then also the baseboards need to be repainted, and the quarter round was never painted, and the nail holes were never filled in. So that needs to be done. And then over here, I do not like this mantle, but I'm not replacing it. I'm just making use of what we have. I'm going to be painting this black enamel. This is by Bear, and it'll be the same color as this. And then I'm going to be staining the top piece with this Rust-Oleum American Walnut gel stain. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm getting over a cold, and I also just have like pregnancy rhinitis, but it's definitely been so much worse because the cold, like my nose has been bleeding a lot because I just cannot stop blowing it. So if you see that happening, that is what's going on. I'm actually going to be wearing a respirator during most of when I'm doing the painting and stuff, because I always wear it when I'm doing furniture work, but I don't always wear it when I'm painting. But I think just right now the fumes of the paint are bothering me. So anyway, whatever. You'll see me wearing the respirator. And then, like I was saying, when we first moved in, I set this office up and was really happy with the setup, but I feel like I can declutter even more. And I did declutter at the time, but I feel like I can declutter even more because there's like stuff in here that like I haven't used in the 2 years we've been in here. So it's time for it to go. I have some like textbooks from nursing school that I was like, oh, these would be really good references to hold on to. I just use Google. I'm gonna be honest. I'm never gonna open those books. So I'm gonna try to sell them. I don't think they'll sell well because I'm in nursing school over a decade ago, but we'll see if anybody wants to buy them. I'm sure they're still using them, probably just a new edition. And there's there's drugs in there because one's a pharmacology book. There's drugs in there that were not even invented then. So like there's like a lot of new cardiac and new diabetes drugs that are not in there that exist now. But anyway, that's a long tangent. So anyway, quick introduction of me. I'm Angela, aka Chefette of Chefette and Little. This is my channel. On my channel, you'll see DIY content, like room makeover content like this, as well as DIY furniture flipping, and some motherhood content, some cleaning content, lifestyle. It's a whole mix of things. So if that is content you are interested in, be sure to like and subscribe, and turn on your alarm bell so that you get notified when I post a new video. I try to post on Sunday mornings, so I try to post once a week. But all right, we need to do the prep work, which is my least favorite. I'm just not really great at cutting in. People can do it, like they don't have to put any painter's tape up, and it's amazing, and I'm so impressed by them. I'm just not one of those gals. So I'm gonna be putting a lot of painter's tape up, especially in the windows, and then I need to fill the nail holes with wood putty, which I have over here, and then I need to use some spackling on the walls. So let's get started.
Okay, so I wanted to start out with some more before photos from when back way when we first purchased the house in 2021. So as you can see, it was this paneling, this dark paneling, and at the time the fireplace also looked very kind of overwhelmingly dark. But once our contractor painted the walls, it really mellowed out the fireplace. Because originally, when we purchased the home, I was even thinking about painting this brick or maybe doing like a German schmear on it. But I'm glad I didn't because I actually really like the brick contrasting against the white. And once you paint brick, it's really hard to reverse course that. So, anyway, um, so like I said, those were the before shots. This is actually a wood burning fireplace. We had it sealed professionally by a chimney sweep when we purchased the home because I am just not a fan of the maintenance of it. And then we have this electric insert. It does emit some heat, but like the glass never gets hot to touch. It really doesn't emit a lot of heat. We live in the South. We live in North Carolina, so we don't really need a functional fireplace, if that makes sense. It's really more of the aesthetic look. So I'm really happy with this route. I know that probably makes some people cringe. People who really love wood burning fireplaces are probably like, "Oh my gosh, what was she thinking?" But it just works best for us and our family and our like life stage with having small children. So anyway, that's the route we went. So I started off by working on the mantle. So as I had stated in the little intro, the plan for the mantle is to improve and make use of what we have. So I'm gonna be painting the little supports, which seem to be more decorative than really functional, and then I'm painting those black to match the fireplace insert and the legs on the little side table that we have in this room. And then I think the desk is gonna have black legs as well, so it will just match really nicely. And then I'm staining the top with Rust-Oleum's the gel stain, the American Walnut gel stain, and I think it comes out really nicely. When I was first starting it, I was like, "Oh, this does not look good," because of the orange of the original finish was kind of pulling through to still. But after a few coats, I was really happy we went this route. And then moving on to the prep. The prep takes forever in DIY. And then also, as you can see by like my multiple outfit changes, I'm doing this in like the 1 to 2 spare hours I have. I would say in typical times, I actually get a lot of DIY work done at nighttime after bedtime. But with being pregnant right now, that is just not possible. I have to go to sleep. I am so tired by the end of the day. I've also been working. I work what we call PRN in nursing. I usually work 2 days a week, but in the pregnancy, I've been working 3 days a week because I'm doing an unpaid maternity leave. And so we were trying to save up in anticipation for that. But that extra day is really kicking my tush, especially with being pregnant. So anyway, it is what it is. I really like my jobs. I have 2 PRN jobs, so that makes it better. I actually really like all of my coworkers and really like the work that I do right now. I think I've like found a really nice sweet spot with that. But anyway, so the prep is exhausting. Putting up all this tape, and especially along the windows. If you've seen in my other videos, I've talked about this before. We have the original single pane 1964 windows in our house. We are planning to replace them, but it is a big project that we are saving up for. So, in the meantime, as I'm refreshing rooms, I am going ahead and painting this like wood trim that's between the window panes, um, because I think it really brightens up the space and it really improves the overall aesthetics of the window. But it does require putting up a lot of tape, which is really time consuming. So I have tried the mask and peel, and I just don't love it. So that's why I'm just using regular painter's tape. I find it really hard to remove after, especially if you have to space your DIY projects out like I do. Um, so, because I think the product instructions say like the sooner you get it off, the sooner, like the easier it will be. But because I have to space mine out, in these little snippets of time that I have, it is hard to, it's just not possible for me to like do this in a 24-hour period, if that makes sense, especially if multiple coats are required, which they usually will be. So anyway, what I do is I put the painter's tape up and then I use a razor blade to like trim it so that way all the wood paneling, or as much of the wood paneling as possible, is showing, and none of the glass, as much as I can. And then I also have one little clip here of me working on building this 5 shelf organizer I got from Amazon. It's like a rolling cart organizer. So this is a knockoff to IKEA's version, and I don't think I would recommend it. The hardware that came with it was terrible. My husband had to actually end up going out and buying hardware at Lowe's to use instead, because this hardware was really bad. So if you're going to do it, I think I would recommend just spending a little bit more on IKEA's version. But anyway, um, so here I am back doing more prep. So when the floors were installed, so we had a new flooring installed almost in our entire house before we moved in, and because the whole house was carpet when we purchased it, and the quarter round never was painted. So it was like pre-primed quarter round before installation, but the nail holes were never filled in, a bead of caulking.
Okay, so back working on the office makeover today. It has been a little bit hard mentally because we are still using this space during this whole makeover. And it's taking me longer than I thought it would, which it happens like every single time I do makeover. So no surprise there, but, and things are just kind of in the way, and it was kind of like overwhelming my brain. So what I'm trying to work on today, I have filled most of the nail holes in the trim, where I have big pieces of furniture like this bookshelf, these 2 bookshelves, and then this like music setup over here. That trim still needs to be, sorry for my hand. That trim still needs to be nail holed and like taped off, but in the spirit of like having the space as much as possible, I'm not worrying about that right now. I'm kind of like doing it in phases. So I'm gonna work on caulking, and then I'm gonna paint the, I'm gonna work on painting the little risers on the fireplace this morning. And then I'm hopefully gonna do some painting of the trim and the window trim today. A first coat is what I'm aiming to accomplish. So I'm gonna start out with the caulking because I have to allow that to dry, and then I need to sand and where the wood filler is, and then I should be able to paint. I don't have a huge window of time. That's the other thing. I'm working in pockets of time. But my top priority right now is to get, you can't even really see it because this desk is blocking it, but the space in between the two cabinets, the wall needs to be touched up, and then the trim needs to be painted, because why that's top priority is I need to get this filing cabinet out of here, and it's gonna go in that spot. So once I can get the wall done, I can push this filing cabinet back finally in there. And then my plan is to finish putting together this rolling cart that's going to be an organizer, and then my plan is to get the files transferred. Once that's done, the filing cabinet is in place and this is finished being built, I'm going to do some organizing, do some decluttering, because then both the bookshelves will be easier to move, and then this bookshelf is just going to go outside to be painted, this brown one, because it needs to be redone. So it's a little bit all over the place. That is pretty typical for how my brain works anyway, but then also just because of still needing to use the space during this whole process. And then trying to like make the best use of space and the best use of my little pockets of time that I get. So enough chatting. Let me get to it. I think that's about it. But anyway, I don't want to be, the reason why I want to like get the filing cabinet in place, it's really in the way right now, and then get this cart put together and get, you know, things kind of reorganized, is because I don't want to clear off everything in these bookshelves if it's not not get rid of it if it's not something that I'm going to keep anyway, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of decluttering that needs to happen and reorganization. So it's like, if it's something I'm going to be getting rid of anyway, I just want to get rid of it. I don't want to like clear it off the bookshelf, get the bookshelves out, and then work on the decluttering. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of where my mind's at with that. But anyway, yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so as I was saying before that clip started, where I was talking, I was working on adding a bead of caulking to the quarter round that was never applied. So this is such a pain in the butt, but it makes such a huge difference. And when I was talking about doing this, my husband was like, I don't know, that's honestly a lot of work, and just I don't think it's really necessary. And I was like, no, I'm doing the room, might as well do it right, you know, like, so we kind of have different mindsets when it comes to DIY sometimes. But now that it is done, you can see a distinct line between the office and the kitchen, and it is so dramatic how much better it looks in the office versus the kitchen. And he was like, oh man, yeah, you were right. So I am really glad I put in the effort. It is a lot of effort right now, especially like crawling around on the floor when you're super pregnant. It's like really not easy, but it is what it is. It'll be so worth it when it's done. That's what I just keep telling myself. But back to what I was kind of mentioning in the clip, this room renovation did take me a lot longer than I was hoping it would. And a big part of the reason is we do use this room really all the time. So it's hard when you are still using the space to be renovating it. But that was another reason why I wanted to get it done, because we do use the room so frequently, and it's like in the middle. Oh, here's an after shot of the mantle. I think it turned out really well. And then here I am working on that middle area that I was talking about, how I'm like desperate to get the filing cabinet in that area, so it can get out of the way. So, yeah, so I'm just working on the prep. A lot of this first part one video is really just like prepping, doing the boring painting, touch-ups, wood filling, caulking, spackling, that sort of thing. But those steps make such a huge difference in your overall project. And then in part two, I'm going to get more into the 2 furniture flips that I have planned for this room, and then the overall before and afters. And then also, before the video is done, you'll get to see the window painted, and the difference that it makes is incredible. Like, it totally brightens up the space. Again, it was such a huge pain, but I am so glad I did it because it is so worth it. But I am going to let some music play. Oh, before I do that, I wanted to say I'm going to be coming out with my August content plan coming up. So stay tuned for that. And then I'll have part 2 for the Office makeover video with the furniture flips and the last finishing touches and then the reveal. I'm hoping I will have that by the middle of this week. It might need to be my regular posting day next Sunday, but we'll see. I'm hoping to have it done before then. But yeah, so just stay tuned for that. And then be on the lookout for August's content plan coming your way. I've got some exciting projects. I have to do one video on reorganizing our linen closet and our hall closet. And then I'm definitely going to have our nursery room makeover ready to go in August. And then I don't know what else. Maybe a cleaning video. But anyway, just stay tuned for it. And I'm going to let some music play now. And then I hope you enjoy the rest of today's video. Okay, so this is where we're leaving off in part one, so be sure to stay tuned for part two. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.